if I don't make any money in 30 days, we will start to lose everything. Man, that woman goes crazy. Our money! Why do you do our money?
But I was so broke, and my brother showed me how to trade options. I gave him $300. He bought a $300 option. By the end of the day, it was at $600. I just made literally $300 in like 2 hours.
And we get into a hard fight until 4 a.m. Barely sleep, get into the car, into the office, and I spoke to myself, don't go to the office. And guess what?
What?
I go to the office, I trade that day, and I blow the accounts on the first day, bro. Yeah, when I first saw the Apex, I was in a very bad situation with my family. I was about to lose everything. My house, my family, in 2, 3, 4 months straight, making zero money. I own a Glock 1, 9 millimeters. And I used to left this gun above my table. When I saw the Apex, the infinite possibilities, what we can do with Apex paying so little amount of money, I grabbed my gun, put inside a safe, and never thought in kill myself again.
Wow.
I say this with all my passion because Apex saved my life. Apex saved my life. We are here in Los Angeles, LA. 30 times that I'm here in LA. And I'm here with the 20 minutes trader.
That's right.
That's right. And the first time that I saw your Instagram, the very first time, he trade only 20 minutes a day, or your trade is 20 minutes?
The actual trading, that includes setup and wrapping up, the entire experience is 20 minutes from beginning to end.
I mean, all you do on your day trading is 20 minutes.
Yeah. So I will usually trade at 6 a.m. Pacific time, which is about 9 a.m. Eastern time.
Okay.
And I will have about, 20 accounts that I'm trading.
Okay.
But I have them all linked together. So I turn on my charts, turn on my trading account. I look for, I look at 3 lines on a chart, a blue line, an orange line, and a white line. And I look for certain shapes to appear, certain interactions. And once I see the ones that I'm looking for, I hit boom. Trade starts. Usually about 30 to 60 seconds later, the trade is done.
Wow.
All my accounts are either red or green, and then I'm done for the day.
What the hell I'm doing? Waking up 4 in the morning to trade.
Well, if you have a system that you love and it works for you, then please stick with it. You know what I mean?
But I am the guy that I like to wake up in the morning and read all the news, see what's going on in the market, in everything to start my day,
Yeah. So, and I respect people who do that. And I think that's a great move for people who are long-term successful professional traders. If that's what they like to do, great. What we favor and what we cater to is looking for a predictable pattern.
Yeah.
And we figured out one that we like a lot. And what we do is we teach people how to spot it and how to set up their charts so that they can actually learn it. They can use that tool for their charts. We show them how to use their trading account so they can place a trade and that there's a stop loss and a take profit automatically there. That's the correct magnitude, the correct amount. And once we've taught them all those things, we say just practice until you've got a good win rate, which could take 4 days, could take 4 weeks, could take 2 months.
Yeah.
Once they've practiced enough with a fake account and they can hit it routinely, we say, good, go ahead and start using Apex or a prop firm, whatever, in order to start monetizing it.
Yeah, the funny thing is I do basically the same.
Yeah.
Because my trade, the main hours to trade, it's less than 30 minutes, than 20 minutes.
Sure.
And my trade as well as the same as yours trade don't goes more than 1 minute.
Really?
So probably,
So we actually have a very similar,
probably.
but you do a lot more research just beforehand.
My line is red, yours is blue. My
Right.
other line is green.
Okay. So your red line is the one that you're trading.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean it's basically the regions, the price, the reference price when that will trigger my trade.
Got it.
Probably,
Okay.
probably
Oh, so
it's
you
very
set it
simple.
up so that if it drops to a certain point, that triggers the buy,
Yeah.
and then within about a minute,
or goes
goes toward a
with
sell.
yeah, exactly.
Do you do futures?
Yes.
That's your main
NQ.
thing?
Only
Cool.
NQ.
Yeah. NQ?
Yeah, on NQ on 20.
That's my favorite.
20 accounts.
That's my favorite one.
Copying.
I also
all the-
like to do gold futures.
Gold. Yeah.
Gold futures.
With the same strategy.
Same exact strategy. They both work nicely. Gold futures is a little slower. So for a beginner, it's easier to look at because you know that NQ is really wild,
But
right?
it's the price of gold is heavier, isn't?
Well, it's just more that the whole thing moves a little slower. So you can, with NQ, everything moves so
but I mean,
fast.
one ticket's $10. It is.
Well, I do MGC. So I do
Micros.
mini gold.
So 20 minutes trader, Jeremy.
That's right. So I'm Jeremy Russell, the 20-minute trader, and you are
Adalto Carneiro from Adalto Carneiro.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't have another name. It's my name,
Cool.
Adalto Carneiro.
And you've been trading for how long?
7 years.
Okay.
7 years.
And how did you start?
Oh, bro, long story.
Let's hear it. Let's hear the short version of the long story.
Actually, my first business that I make a lot of money was here in US.
Really?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Teaching people how to bring supplements, nutritional supplements from US to Brazil. So I started making a lot of money quickly.
Yeah.
And since the Brazil getting through a crisis, I lost everything. Because
Really?
I didn't know how to deal with that amount of money. And then I don't prepare myself to one crisis. So
Wow.
I lost everything.
So what was the crisis that Brazil went through? Like an economic political crisis?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
The president backing them falls. The Dilma, I don't know if you
Yeah, I remember a little bit about it.
Yeah, and another president take the government, and Brazil went to a mess.
Like the value of the currency dropped completely.
Yeah.
So everything you owned was suddenly worthless.
Yeah, and I was not prepared to do that.
Wow.
So
what year was that?
2015, 15 to 16. And then I have to sell my car, my apartment, everything. And then I went to my darkest years, 26, 27, and 28. I started making a lot of money with my actual business. I'm a lawyer.
You're a lawyer?
I'm a lawyer.
So you started in 2018. You started actually making money again.
No, I'm always being a lawyer.
Yeah.
Doing this another business as well. You know, so but I make more money with that another business than my practicing lawyering.
Yeah.
And I started lawyering in 2012.
So you went back to doing legal work.
Yeah. Yes.
After your supplement business, supplement training business failed.
And then I have to start all the beginning, start from nothing again, and then start making a lot of money in end of 2018.
Okay.
And then I say, not now. Now I'm going to prepare myself to another crisis. So I start to research and study how can I make my money be more value. So I went to start studying about investments.
Okay.
Not futures, not trading, only how to invest.
Basically investing,
yes. And I asked for my cousin. He's used to be an investment assessment. Is that right?
Probably an investment advisor.
Advisor, yes. Yeah. And in the biggest bank in Brazil.
Okay.
Investment bank in Brazil. So I asked his help, and he showed to me one trade that he made on trading futures in Brazil. Look, I just made in dollars back in then was $2,000. in swing trading one day to another one, doing overnight position.
Wow.
And she showed to me, look this. I look, whoa, how can I do that as well? And he said to me, I won't teach you. This is so dangerous.
It's so dangerous.
You are my family. I won't do that with you. If you want to learn,
yeah,
go by yourself.
Yeah.
Then I do.
And you did.
Yeah. I started on 2018, to 2018, looking everything in Brazil, only in Brazil. So I started trading futures in Brazil, the index, Brazilian index, and the dollar rate, the forex.
Like forex.
Yeah, Brazil, our currency versus dollar, real versus dollar. So I started trading those two, but trading my own money.
Right.
I started trading my own money, and in beginning of the 2019, I started studying CMA, futures at CMA.
Cool.
Gold, S&P 500, NQ, oil, and forex euro versus dollar.
Sure. Yeah.
So I follow and I studied all those 5 assets at the futures here in the US. But for me, I think, I don't know here in the US, but for me to trade my own money, making my money in real, sending this money to here to US, converting to dollar, for me it's like 3 years of work to trade, just to start trading with my own money.
Mm-hmm.
So I we don't have access to this market here. For us in Brazil, it was too much. It's expensive.
Sure.
So what I did was I start to like way more trading here, trade futures here in US than futures in Brazil. And then I booked a trip to US to learn more and to open one bank account and accounts on a brokerage to make everything easier.
Sure.
To move this
you
money.
Did interactive brokers or something
yeah,
like that?
Exactly. Yeah. Actually, back in them, the name is Dorman. I don't know.
Okay.
You heard about?
I've heard of that,
Yeah. And then I booked that trip to beginning of the beginning of the next year, 2020, and then COVID came.
Right.
So again, I have to start all from nothing, and then continuous trading only Brazil, my own money, and never succeed because the amount of money that I put over there was too little. I had back in then a big money to learn how to trade, lost the money, and do all over again.
Yeah, normally it's probably like win, lose, right?
So I win, I lose, and then after that I lose. I wasn't able to start over again right away.
Sure.
So I need to more 6 months to save more money to trade.
Try again.
Yeah, to try again. So and then I pass for all those kind of trades, and only when I know about the apex, the prop firms, then when I saw the apex and the amount of the money we
get access to. Yeah.
So I start my accounts on Apex on Wednesday. On next Tuesday, approve my first PA account of 150K.
Nice.
And then another one, and in 30 days start making payouts. And here we go.
Why did you, after losing and failing multiple times, what made you continue trying?
All my another business, importing supplements from Brazil to US. The thing that make my business goes away was on my control. Was one Brazil thing. So
Right.
what I can
So
do.
you wanted to gain personal control over your financial
Yeah.
future. So
Yeah.
you said, this is a way that I can do it. Other people can do it
Yeah.
too. I'm going to make this work.
Yeah.
So you just would fail, save up the money, try again, fail, save up the money, try again.
Yeah.
When Apex came along, it gave you the ability to access large amounts of money with very small amounts of money, and then start getting payouts that are meaningful.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I was tired to build a business that one I built for 10 years.
Right.
And like this, boom,
Gone. Just like
everything's
that. Right.
So the another business practicing law,
Yeah.
happened the same thing.
Wow.
Happened the same thing. I remember when I get married, me and my wife, right on the back, when we get back from our honeymoon, I discovered she was pregnant.
Wow.
Yeah, I tell her. I look at her.
You're like, you're definitely pregnant.
Yeah, and she say, "No way." I say, "Yeah,
Guaranteed,
you are."
right?
Yes.
That's
Peace on this little secret over here.
Nice.
Yeah, and she did. Yeah. Oh my god. I'm
Right.
pregnant. So we have to get a new house.
Sure.
A bigger place. And when I make the first deposit, make all the contract for the new house, make the first deposit, waiting for a big payout from a lawsuit that I was working for more than 5 years. Was everything
You were depending
done.
on that. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it
invested everything in that.
The work was everything done. I did everything right, for 7 years, and now is the time to get paid.
Sure.
Let's do it. With this money, I will pay the first payment from mortgage for my house, and then we'll move all the family for this house. What happened was the other part of the lawsuit, he was able to get one decision from the a Supreme Court.
The appeal.
Yeah. And reverse the situation. And I
7 years of work gone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I actually eventually I get this money, but 2 years later. So I have to borrow money to,
to survive.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's why even losing money for 5 years straight, I never give up, because on trading we can control what we do.
Right.
We can control the trade.
Right.
When we open the trade,
when you close, yeah.
When you close,
Exactly.
how much money you will lose that day, lose with that trade. So
and then since then you started publishing and broadcasting. When did you start that?
Once I started getting results trading, and once this happened real fast, because it was like I was blind from 5 years.
Yeah.
And then when I just put some glass, wow, I'm seeing everything.
Mm-hmm.
So from nothing, everything's get so clear to me. And the bigger problem for me was, first, trade Brazil market is so small.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that bad. It's a worse. I can't say that.
It's the worst stock market in the world.
The worst futures market to trade. Day trade, maybe position, maybe swing, yes, but day trade is the worst market to trade. And the second one is trade your own money.
Right.
So when I realized that two big problems I can solve, first with Apex, with a prop firm, second trading here, US.
Sure, it's way better.
I make this sound like I have to yell this to Brazil. Hey, stop doing this. I do this for 5 years and only lost money. Always lose money. So stop doing this. You want to make something on day trading?
Yeah.
Try that way. Try since the beginning, since the day one, day zero. Try this way.
Right.
This way, it's not the easy way. It won't be easy. It won't be quick. But if any ways, any road carry us to Roma, there is the line in English as well.
Any road that gives you the chance of success.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Something like this. But I mean, what I'm trying to say is there is a lot of ways to make money on financial market.
Yeah.
That way that I make money, that you make money, it's on my point of view, it's will be the less hard to don't say will be easier, you know?
Yeah.
It will be less hard.
It's also the fact that you can get there. Like with the Brazilian market, it sounds like the chances of getting there are very, very low. Even though it's very competitive in the US market, the possibility of getting there is clearly there, right?
Yeah. So then I start yelling this path that I find that I already knew about this path, but I wasn't able to pursue this path.
Sure.
So I started doing this.
Cool.
For 20 peoples. I was I used to do live stream on YouTube, streaming my trades, and I used to have seven
guests,
seven people watching.
Okay.
And one was my wife, the second one was my mom, and
then 5 random friends.
My sis and my brother-in-law. So
who were the other 2 or 3?
Yeah,
2 or 3 random people.
Yeah, I do this for 6.
And how many people listen to your live trades now?
Oh, now, since I'm doing this more for my students, I have about 300 people
who attend
every day. Yeah,
nice.
When I go live to YouTube, we reach maybe 500, 600. Mm-hmm. It's not that big.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, I saw other trades doing lives like this, and they had, I don't know,
like 10,000 or something. Yeah,
it's a lot. I don't know if it's real, but
sure,
yeah, it's big. And about you, how you started?
Well, in 2020, I left my job of 22 years.
What do you?
Where I was an educator, and I was making very, very, very little money. I was 42 years old. My wife was about 34.
Wait. Let's 42 on. So now you have 47.
Yeah, I'm turning 48.
Oh, bro,
in a month or 2.
Don't look. You don't look.
If you look close, you can tell.
Yeah. You don't look.
Yeah, so I was 42, and I was like, I want to start a family, and so did my wife, and she was 34, so we didn't have much time, right? And we were living in a very small apartment, about as big as this studio, like 300 square foot apartment for years. We were making so little money. We were living in Hollywood. We were living in a very tiny apartment because we were really passionate about what we were doing.
Yeah.
And we were trying to help people, improve their lives, literacy, human rights, depression, drug abuse. We were trying to help with all that stuff. And we were doing a great job, but you don't get paid money for that. You get paid nothing. And we decided, you know what? We need to come out of this. We need to catch up the last 20 years in right now. So we left that job. I left just before she did. So I ended up moving into my brother's apartment in Pasadena, which is about 20 minutes away from here. Lived on his couch. And I started 3 or 4 businesses right away. I started a pillow selling business. Pillow selling. Yeah. I started what else was there? I wrote a public speaking book, which had 0 results. I wrote a fiction book, 400-page military story, which, by the way, is finally starting to do well. And there's a producer who wants to make it into a movie. So it's actually just pure entertainment. Military thriller. I've been, I've watched a lot of action movies, and I've got a lot of family in the military, so I decided to write a book, and it was just an entertaining book. So that was another thing that I did. I think I did 3 or 4. I sold purple shampoo, manufactured and made purple shampoo for blonde women mostly, to not have brassy hair. I was just like, I'll try anything.
Anything at all.
But I was so broke, and my brother showed me how to trade options.
Options.
And he showed me one day, he goes, look at this Tesla thing. Do you think it's going to go up or down? I said, I think it's going to go up. So I gave him $300. He bought a $300 option. By the end of the day, it was at $600. And I sold it. I said, I just made literally $300 in like 2 hours. This is a potential area that I could learn. I want to master this. I want to figure this out. But then I went on to these other businesses, and I was doing whatever I could, and I was trying to figure this out and figure that out. Oh, I did carpentry as well. I forgot. I was a handyman for a bit, and I built, I built stuff for people's houses. While all this is happening, I started running out of money. I needed food money. I needed gas money, especially here in LA where things are very expensive. So I said, you know what? I noticed a pattern in the market. It's a very short 1 or 2 minute pattern. I'm going to see if I can just monetize that one little thing. So I called up my buddy Frank, who was a very experienced trader. I said, look, every morning, NVIDIA, that stock, it goes like this, it drops down, and then it just pops up randomly. And I figured out that when the Dow Jones goes first, NVIDIA follows like 1 second after.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And I said, I don't know how to monetize that. I only have a few $100. He's like, let me show you how to do options. So he showed me how to set it up on E-Trade, actually. And he showed me, okay, you buy here, this is your stop loss, take profit, this is what button you push. And I said, all right, let me try it out. So the very first time I tried was February 18th, 2020, actually. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this. So I see the Dow Jones and then NVIDIA dropping at the same time. Dow Jones pops up and I buy an $1,100 option.
NVIDIA.
And then seconds later I sold it for $11.50. So I made my first $50 and I go,
what?
Great. That's food and gas for the day. Okay. Next day I made like $200 doing that. Next day I made $126. And I just kept doing the same thing. I watched them dropping together. And then that was keeping food on the table for me and keeping my gas tank full. So I was very excited about that. Taught my friend Sean, who he was like, hey, do you have any fun things you're doing? I'm like, yeah. So he made like $3,000 immediately. And then his dad called me and said, hey, can you teach me that thing? And then I'm like, sure, yeah. Meanwhile, Sean and I are doing this pillow selling business and this purple shampoo business that's making like $100 a week. Maybe it's like not enough. But I'm just like continuing to trade. But I'm getting calls every day. Hey, I heard about this trading system you got that's like really fast. So now I'm spending all day on the phone trying to teach my friends, yeah, you got to open up the E-Trade and you got to get the Dow Jones on there and you want to set up your chart like this here. I'll help you set up your chart. And finally, my wife is like, why don't you make a video course? Because you're all day doing this and that way you don't have to spend all this time on it. And I had a buddy who does literally does video courses for a living. So I called him up and said, you want to do my video course? So he comes over and in one day I filmed the entire thing. 4 or 5 months later, he finally finishes editing it because it was all free. And then I put it on. Finally, I decided, you know what? See if anybody wants to buy this thing. So I put it online in April of 2021 on April 1st. First month, made $500 in sales.
Good.
It's like, cool. Beginning of 2022, we had like 100 followers. By the end of 2022, we had 500,000 followers.
Wow.
And it was because of this video course that people were like, this is really good. This is helpful. And it went viral. Next thing I know, it's so simple and it is applicable and usable by busy beginners or non-traders who work 9 to 5 or have families or have 3 kids or, and they're just too busy to do anything. So we're like, hey, look at this line, look at that line, look at this other thing. If it works, great. If it doesn't, fine. You're going to have some losing days. Just move on. We found an even better pattern later and even easier with a higher win rate with a lot of back testing. And that's the one that we like the best. That's the one I use now. And we've set up a whole community. We now have 500,000 people have done a 20-minute trader course or class in the last 3 years. We have about 15,000 people.
That's huge.
Yeah. We have about 15,000 people who have purchased a product from 20-minute trader. And then we have about 3,000 members of a club that get full unlimited mentorship to help people set up their charts, trading accounts, check their patterns. And one of the most important things that I'm sure, is mindset.
Exactly.
That's like 99% of trading, right? So you could have this great strategy and you could have beginner's luck, which everybody seems to have, right? I'm sure when you teach somebody new,
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, I've had like 3 weeks of wins.
Yeah.
And then you check on them 6 weeks later, they're like, yeah, I had a losing streak and I don't know what's going on. And then they try to like to regain confidence by more technical analysis, when in fact it was their mindset that went wrong. They were doing fine at first. They were following a very simple, naively, unemotionally, and almost stupidly, just like, oh, I see it, boom, and it works. And if they lose, they don't care. But after 6, 7, 8 weeks, 2, 3 months, the market becomes this menacing injury for them if they lose. And they take it seriously, and they're staring and they're looking at it real close. So we found that if you could set it up so that people can have the proper mindset, where their predefined risk doesn't scare them, where they understand that they're trading in a series of 30 or 40 trades, not just like this one trade is everything. They understand that this one trade is very unimportant, and they can have that viewpoint. To get there, in my opinion, requires a community.
Yeah. And you
requires the group
already
pressure.
have some of students that been through hell, but I mean hell, actually hell.
Yeah.
Because of this.
I mean, I have had plenty of students who have, they've had big losses for sure.
I mean, something like maybe some,
like they're addicted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So we actually have a club. We have like a sub club called Traders Anonymous. Where people who are
you like alcoholics.
Yeah, it's like Alcoholics Anonymous. But what we found is that focusing too much on self-discipline and like punishing yourself actually doesn't work as well as the real cause. The real cause for traders behaving that way and having the wrong mindset is not having a predefined risk.
Yeah.
That they're okay with.
Yeah, but
like if I said you might lose $20 on this,
fine.
People are gonna be like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And also I do believe the group pressure to follow the process and not worship the outcome. If you have that set up where you're accountable to people.
Yeah. Then, let me tell you that history. I don't know if I am allowed to do, but I will. And if not, we'll figure this out later. Yes. But just now, three Fridays ago, three Fridays ago, I have one, the biggest student. He is with me more than 2 years straight, going up, going down, going up, going down, and from last July, only up, making 5 to 25 payouts every single month.
That's great.
Every single month. And we had tradition.
What did he say was the reason for his success?
Consistent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Consistency.
Yeah, consistency.
Small, consistent wins.
Yeah. And accept the loss.
Correct.
Accept the loss. And he sent to me, we have a tradition on our community that is celebrate a big thing on a bottle of whiskey.
Nice.
So he got a big payout, and he sent to me one of the best Macallans that I ever have.
Wow.
Ever had. Yeah. It's a Macallan one. The name is Harry Cask.
Okay.
And I put his name, his date and everything to honor his conquer his results. But here's the bad thing. 3 Fridays ago, he started losing a small amount of money. Then don't accept this loss. Continue trading, lost everything, burn 3 PA accounts with more than 30K each account. And he had others 5 accounts as well, PA accounts, burn everything.
Wow.
And he get into a very bad state of mind
Mm-hmm.
that he grabbed all his credit cards and try to, because he take maybe 2 years to conquer all those accounts,
Sure.
and then he lost everything.
Just like that.
Yeah,
So
and
fast. Yeah.
I think what he thought in that moment was, uh, I need to get back right now everything I just
Right.
lost.
So he just went nuts and tried to.
Yeah.
So how's he doing today? Is he still
No,
frantic?
wait for it. Wait for it.
Okay.
And when he end this day, when he comes in, oh, what I'm doing here, and when he saw the amount of money that he lost on all PA accounts, when he saw the amount of money he spent trying to pass on new accounts, he took all the pills he found on his
No.
house, put inside a blender, put a liter of vodka, blend everything, and
He
drink.
died.
No,
He didn't die.
he didn't die.
Wow.
He didn't die. That's the surprise, because I was in shock, man. I was in shock, yeah. And he spent all the weekend inside the hospital doing the cleaning, everything. And on Monday, I talked to him, and he said, "Adalto, I don't know what happens, bro. I don't know what happens."
It just shows you the power of the demons inside you that can come out, that you have to be aware of before you get into this field.
Yeah, and that's my question. If you, I don't know if you deal with this situation on
Never had
this.
anything that serious. There was one guy who,
And the second one
who's
is
doing
what
great as
what we can do to to help our community do not get in this far,
Right. So what I have set up is I have an app called the 20-Minute Trader app. Within it, there is a community, and within the community, we have like groups of 10 to 12 people. And those 10 to 12 people have agreed to help each other like a family. And so no matter how bad one guy is doing, there's always 5 or 6 other people doing great that are there to encourage them, to talk to them, to pick up the phone and chat with them. And when we set it up that way, we have most of the members moving toward consistency and making profits and keeping their emotions under control. I found something very amazing last July. In May, I checked on how my students were doing in my top class. I was like, how are you guys doing? And only 50% were profitable, which really, I was like, should be like 90%, because I have this strategy that's got a 80-90% win rate. Why are you guys losing? And the thing that was happening with every single one of them is, or the ones that were losing, is they'd have win, 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 lose, and then they would chase that loss into the gutter, and they would have a big loss in their account. So I said, okay, you guys don't have a problem with the strategy. You have a problem with your mindset, your structure, and your discipline. So I created a boot camp. And the first rule of the boot camp is you can't do negative self-talk. What that means is if you screw up, you can't say, I suck.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. I'm the worst trader in the world. You can't say that. You can say that about the trade. You can say that trade is a piece of crap. That trade was idiotic. That action, that event, that thing that happened, that was bad. And then you can say, I am a disciplined, ethical trader with good consistency. And I would make them all say this. I said, you cannot, within this club, you can't say, you are the director, producer, writer, and actor in life. And if you say, I suck, I'm an idiot, I'm reckless, I'm a gambler, you will be that.
Yeah.
You've written that into the script. You've created a character. That character will behave according to you, who created this life and this movie called life. So don't do that. Write the film properly. Write your character properly. Don't ignore the mistakes. If you screw up, you don't have to sit there and say, I'm perfect, everything's great, everyone loves me. No, you can say that mistake was idiotic. I'm a reformed gambler. I'm a good trader. Move on. and create a new future for yourself. So we started doing that with a whole bunch of people. I put 300 people through this boot camp since July. And in Christmas of this year, I received 85 personal messages. 85. I counted them because there were so many coming in and say, hey, man, you have literally changed my life. Like, not only do I trade better and I'm making money with it, but actually you got like this negative self-talk thing and all that and the community and everything has actually raised my happiness level. I don't run myself down on a daily basis. There was one guy who I couldn't get him to change. I said, do you have a photo of yourself at 6 years old? He's like, I think I do. I actually have one of when I was 7. I said, good, pull out that photo. Look at that kid, right? Would you ever tell that kid he's a piece of crap? Would you say, you suck? Would you say that to that kid? He's like, no way. I'm like, well, you're doing that every single day.
Nice one. I will copy that one.
Tape
Nice
that
one.
to your computer. And he taped it to his computer monitor. And I said, the next time you get the urge to say that, look at that kid and ask yourself,
say to that
no matter
kid,
how stupid that kid's mistake was, you're never going to tell him, you suck. You're never going to do that. So don't do that to yourself.
Nice.
That guy is now, he's this guy from Jersey. He is now one of my top traders. And he is so pumped about the system that he's actually going to help me do the live trading that we're going to start doing.
Great.
So, are there people who get into trading and have a terrible bad experience? Yes, I usually call them up and I say this, like if I find them doing reckless things like your friend there, I usually call them up and I say, I swear to God, I'm going to save your life right now. Quit.
Yeah.
Take every dollar you have and put it in some sort of mutual fund that's hard to access.
After that episode, I'm saying to everybody, if you don't even start to think about develop on yourself some self-control, quit.
This is not for you.
Yeah, quit.
Yeah.
You even have to try to start to think about what I'm going to do to control myself.
Right.
So if you are not able to do that, go do something.
Go do something else. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
if you don't have the physical or mental ability to do that, you're absolutely in the wrong profession.
Yeah.
It's just like how some people can consume a drink of alcohol and they're fine.
Yeah.
Other people that take one sip and now they're going to get completely drunk and ruin their life and destroy years of hard work with their family or their spouse or their loved one, all from like one night of drinking. That person should not drink. Right? Just don't drink, man.
It's like the Peter Tuchman told me on my face, if you don't like this, go get a job at McDonald's.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And there are things that I think about it. I'm like, are there things that I avoid because I don't trust my own ability to deal with it? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So trading isn't one of them, but there are parts of my life where I go, I don't think I'm going to go there because I don't trust my reaction to this situation. For example, getting into a political conversation with my family, I will avoid that because I don't trust my reaction to what they're going to say and to what they might think or believe. I mean, I'm probably fine, but if I don't trust my reaction to their reaction, who knows, right?
Yeah.
The reason I even got into trading with Apex is because in 2023, I was trading with $200,000 in my own money and doing great, using my gold pattern, which is my special pattern. And I think I had made $30,000 in the first 6 or so weeks. So I thought I was the man. I was like, this is good. And then I found out that 2 of my immediate family members had been diagnosed with terminal illnesses. And I started to get really, really messed up about how life is short. I'm going to be on my deathbed one day. I'm going to regret not taking that adventure or doing that brave thing. I'm like, I should be, instead of aiming for $800 or $1,000 a day, I'm going to aim for like $20,000 just going to go for it. So I started doing that. I started aiming for 20,000, 10,000. And my very first trade, I made 2,500. So I thought, cool, I'm going to go for 20,000. To get 20,000 with my system, you can't do it unless you have like $1 million. You can't make $20,000 with 200,000 with my system. It's not possible because you're predicting a very small motion with my strategy. You're predicting a tiny little motion, and that's it. So to make 20,000, you have to predict a really big motion. So I tried to. It's kind of a hunch-based strategy. Lost, and I was like, "That's part of the adventure. Double or nothing." So I did it again, and I lost 40,000.
Wow!
So I was down 60,000 on the first day. I was shaking. I was confused. I was like dizzy with the level of irresponsibility that I could possibly have here. And after 4 more days of trying to make it back, I was down over 100,000. I took a break. I looked in the mirror. I said horrible things to myself. I took 2 weeks of soul searching. I mean, it was so irresponsible for me to do that. It wasn't like I had that money to burn. That was important money. That was money that was supposed to be used to help me enhance my family and the life and quality of life of my family. It wasn't disposable money. So I ended up soul searching for 2 weeks, and then I decided to become like a born again, religious, like 20-minute trader. Follow my strategy perfectly. So for the next 3 months I did, and I made back 60,000. So I was really proud of that. But then my house was done being renovated. The contractor said, "Here's your bill." It was way more than I expected. And I had to empty out my trading account and pay him every penny that I had, plus put a bunch on credit cards, plus get out a loan. And I was like, I had nothing. Then I heard about Apex and I thought, okay, I've heard about this for quite a while. I have friends making money on it, loving it. Let me try it out. So I signed up for Apex, $50,000 account. After 2 to 3 weeks, I passed the account. It's like, all right. Continued following my strategy, making a little bit here and there. After like 3 or 4 weeks, I got my first payout, a couple thousand. Now I'm trading with over $1 million on Apex. And I've had months where I make 20 to 25,000. A bad month might be 8 or 9,000. Yeah, what I love about it is it rewards good disciplined traders with consistency, and it really rewards them. And it really penalizes people who are reckless gamblers, which should be penalized, but without ruining their lives, right? For me, the most I can lose, I can't lose $100,000. The most I can lose is the fees that I paid Apex. So as a result, Apex protects me from me while still giving me the opportunity to make money.
Yeah.
And that's why I recommend it, especially when it has these 90% off sales where it's so ridiculously cheap to get in the game, right? So if you ever see a 90% off sale with Apex, jump on it and get as many of those accounts as you can.
Yeah, when I first saw the Apex, I was in a very bad situation with my wife, with my family.
Really?
Yeah, I was about to lose everything, my house, my family. I already was in 2, 3, 4 months straight making zero money in my other activities, my other jobs.
Sure.
And I own a Glock one, 9mm, a regular one. Everything is good, perfect. I mean, not illegal in Brazil. And I used to left this gun above my table in front of the screen. And in this very bad situation, I always stay at the office until late, so I can go back my house, and my family is all my family is sleeping. Mm-hmm. So I can't confronting them because I was passing through that situation.
And so you avoided confronting your family because you were ashamed?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I get up early, get out of my house early to don't deal with them, and stay until late at the office because of this. And on those nights, I have this brown carpets at my office.
Sure.
I used to lay down my face and cry like a baby because I was in very bad situation. And I looks like a movie history, like a
Sure.
movie thing, but it's not. I think, and always say that click, that sound like a voice in my head. Get up and go see your computer right now. And I always say that voice was my father talking to me. I lost my father in 2022.
Mm.
And this day happened on Wednesday, on my July, and the last week of July, that precede my birthday.
Okay.
So one Wednesday I had this click. I was with my face laid down
Sure.
the carpet crying, and then go see your computer. And the first thing that appeared to me was one guy talking about Apex.
Really?
Look at this. You can trade 4 contracts. You can trade 10 contracts. You can trade 17 contracts. How much do you pay for a trade that size? And I grab my wallet, pick up my first credit card, my second one, my third one. And I say, well, if I have reals, I have to have 50,000 reals.
Sure.
About $10,000 to trade 4 contracts.
Yeah.
How much I will pay for a trade with Apex? And I say, well, in this card I have 500, and there's another, I have another 500, and I say, well, I pay until, I don't know, the max I can spend right now, it's about $2,000. And he laughed. He said, you will pay only $14. I say, get out of here. Say, get out of here, bro. Get out of here. Yes, only 50. Oh, I look behind. Where's the camera?
Yeah.
This is some scam. This is some prank.
Right.
No way. And I know this is serious. You paid over there. And back in that day, that Wednesday was the first time that I saw the Apex, and they had this sales on 90% that I think was the shippers accounts from Apex. I don't know, all the time. And I grabbed 2 accounts, and like in the moment when I realized, and when I saw the Apex, the infinite possibilities, what we can do with Apex paying so little amount of money, I grabbed my gun, put inside the safe, and never thought in kill myself again.
Wow.
And that was one Wednesday. I got the 150K account with discount, and on 4 days, and back in then we have to trade 7 days to get approved, to get the PA.
Okay, yeah.
So I trade, but I get the goal that was $9,000 on the next Tuesday, 4 days trading.
Yeah.
And I go home way happy, and the way to home, I grab a 6-pack to celebrate. And I call my wife, hey babe, now it goes. Now it's starting to happen. Now it started to happen. And she looked to me and say, where's the money?
Show me the money.
Where's the money?
Right.
Where's the money? I say, I goes, hey babe. She loved the story.
She's like Jerry Maguire.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, but where's the money?
Right.
Babe, slow down. It's not like this. Now I have to make more money to follow all the rules for I don't know how long, I will be able to cash out with some payouts. And she goes, I don't want to know. Where's the money?
That's the right attitude. I respect your wife, man.
Where's the money? And I say to her like this, babe, there is no money yet.
Then she's just like, okay. She rolls her eyes because you've been telling her for years, I've got this idea. Yeah. It's the best, I swear.
There's no money yet, but if I don't make any money on the 30 days, in 30 days, 40 days, we will start to lose everything. Man, that woman goes crazy.
Wow.
Start yelling, where our money? Why do you do our money? And we get into a hard fight until 4 a.m. And I barely sleep, get into the car, head to the office, and I spoke to myself, don't go to the office. Don't go trade that day. Don't do that. And guess what?
What?
I do. I go to the office.
What happened?
I trade that day and I blow the PA accounts on the first day, bro. The first day. Yeah. So that one's one of my rules, the main rules. If you are not able mentally to
follow your rules,
to trade, if you have some problem that has some level medium to hard, some personal problem, do not trade.
Yeah.
Stay away from the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
That's cool. That's a cool story, man. So do you you like to promote Apex? You like to tell people about it?
Yeah, because I say this with all my passion, because Apex saved my life. Apex saved my life.
Wow.
If I don't know if what more is going on with that thought, get your gun, give you one shot on your head.
Yeah.
I don't know how badly that situation could be,
Sure.
And then when like I said, it's like a move scene.
Yeah, it sounds. I mean, it totally
click. Oh,
very, very intense.
Find about the Apex, and then in that particular day when I get approved, I got I go online, search for rules, Apex rules, to see how to active my PA account, and then I find in Portuguese nothing, zero content. So I say, why not?
Yeah,
I will be the guy in Brazil talking about the Apex, talking the exactly how the rules works.
Yeah.
So I started doing this. So
amazing.
Yeah, and I start this bring it up another good thing that I start showing the money on social media, the money that I was doing and I was making the trading over the day, over the weeks, and like you, the people start asking, so what are you doing? How you trade? And then I say, if you have 10 guys wanting to know how to trade, how I trade, I can start teaching you guys. And instead of 10, the first one I have 80 guys, 80 people on the first class, and I finish one class on Friday, that first one on Friday, and start another one on Monday, and I'm doing this for more than 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and the duration of the course is 10 weeks. So on the end of the 10 weeks, and I end the last one on the last Thursday.
It's such a good feeling, right? Yeah. When you finish. Yeah. When I finished the boot camp, I'd be like, it's very fulfilling awesome. And tiring, but it feels good.
Yeah.
You change a lot of lives. It's really cool.
Yeah, and I used to do closing events. In Portuguese, it will be like encerramento, cerimônia encerramento, celebrate of closing, like a graduation. Like graduation. And then the last one we go live with more than 100 students live, and we stay all together on this event for 6 hours.
Wow.
6 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, was the longest.
That's amazing.
Yeah, the longest. And then the ending of the celebrations, we have one tradition that we celebrate with a bottle of whiskey, and I buy a new one, and I put the name, the class.
Yeah.
Each name has a class. I put the name, sign the bottle, and put it on my shelf.
That's really
my
cool.
office. Yeah. So, how many people do you teach on for past years? I don't know.
Yeah. So at first I just did a bunch of one-on-one with people, and then that quickly became impossible. And then I started to, just sell the video courses, and that was it in 2022. And then, but I still had a group of like 15, 20, 30 people who I would just mentor and help them and stuff like that. And then in 2023, we launched the 20-Minute Trader Club, and that allowed us to hire 5 or 6 mentors, which is very easy to do because you'll notice that of your 100 students, 15 of them are like helping everybody.
Yeah.
You notice that?
Yeah.
10 or 15 of them are always helping. So you just take those helpers and you say, you're hired. You're going to be a mentor for the next one. And you get those people to help out, and that actually makes your life a lot easier and makes their lives a lot easier too, because they have someone who's accessible, who can work with them. So you take your teacher's pet, or the person who loves helping the most, and you say, here's a job for you, man. Yeah. And that's how we built the 20-Minute Trader Club. We took people who were good traders and good educators and who loved helping, and we said, since you love doing this and you're already doing it, how would you like to get paid for it? That's how we built the club. So we have 20, 30 people now who do that. And as a result, if a person has any question, boom, their question is answered instantly. So they say, hey, I'm having trouble with my Apex chart. Can you help me set it up? Yeah, boom, done.
With everything.
Yeah, every single thing. We even have a room that's open from like 8 in the morning till like 9 at night. And you can go in there anytime. It's a Zoom call that's open a full 12 hours. And you can just go in there and say, hey, I'm having trouble with it. And it's just solved instantly. There's always somebody there, or at least 2 or 3 people there.
And with that amount of students that you already deal with, if you have only 2 reasons to point to a point, that is the common reasons.
The common reason is
they don't succeed. The most that you know that the most that we have the 90%. They don't care. Maybe they are over there just to see if it will work. Yeah. Oh, let's see where I can go with this. And the 10% are the dedicated. He wants to learn something.
Yeah.
So on those that succeed, and that since we have the most failing, what is the common reasons that you think about?
So we did a survey on our entire students, and we said, are you making money with 20-Minute Trader or not? And 68.4% said they're making money with it.
68. Mm-hmm. Wow.
So I think that number is why we are the fastest growing trading school in the country, because there's so many people winning with it.
Yeah,
68.4%.
Way far from the industry.
Yeah, the industry is 90% losing, or 13% winning is like the highest number. So the reason I believe we have that success rate is because of the constant mentorship and constant community. If you go into our community, let's say right now you went and you joined 20-Minute Trader Club. First of all, it looks like a Facebook page. There's posts and there's comments and posts and comments. It's very easy and very intuitive, right? Let's say you posted, hey, I had a horrible day today. I blew 10 accounts and I'm depressed. You'd immediately get 15 or 20 people within 5 minutes saying, bro, I've been there. Don't worry about it. You'll get through this. Have you talked to Joe? Joe just did that like 2 weeks ago, but then he did this and he got a lot better. Now he's doing good again. There's like so much encouragement in there that they will pick you up and lift you up. And then you'll be told, hey, why don't you go take a refresher class, a repair class? Because we have a repair class every single day. So you do the repair class. It gives you the ability to go, okay, what happened? Well, I blew all my accounts. Okay, so tell us the story. Then the mentor listens to your story and says, okay, good. You did everything right until that day. So you got to figure out a way to prevent that kind of day from happening again. So next time that happens, here's what you got to do. And it gives the person hope and helps them recover. And I think that amount of community and support, I feel it plays a major role in our success rate. Because it's the accountability that creates the consistency. And we both know that consistency is the only way to get there.
Yeah, I realize that the most that do not succeed, first of all, is because they can't stop the trade.
Mm-hmm.
They can't have the physical attitude to grab the hand, put in the mouse and push the button.
Correct.
They just watch the trading go against and leave right there.
That's right. And the thing that people don't realize, and I do a lot of speeches about this, is that everyone wants to beat the system. That's a trader is there entering a market where they have very low odds and they want to beat the odds, right? So when they get into it, they're thinking, okay, you tell them the rules. You say, hey, look, if you do this, do this. If you lose, quit for the day. If you do this, if you win, quit for the day. Like you give them all the rules, right? You go, look for this indicator, place your trade, win or lose, you're done. That's what I'm sure you tell everybody, but they don't do that. They go and do a second trade because it worked once a long time ago. What people don't realize is they're trying to be special and unique. They don't want to they don't want to be a sheep. They don't want to be a cow and follow the herd, right? So they think that by breaking the rules a little bit, doing something a little wild, being an explorer, being a pioneer, being a rebel is going to get them there. But the truth is 99 out of 100 people think that same thing. The only person who's special is the guy who can follow instructions.
Yeah.
So if you want to be the special outlier, maverick, pioneer, try following the rules. You'll be the only one in the entire crowd who did.
Yeah.
You want to be special? Follow the rules. Be the one person who follows the rules.
One simple thing.
Yeah, and no one does that. It's like really rare when you find that. There was a guy who started on October 24th, 4 months ago. He had never traded a single day in his life. He did the gold pattern course, 5-hour video course. He joined the boot camp immediately, like 6 days in. The boot camp is usually like people who've been trading for a while. Starts in the boot camp, very first day. I tell him to practice trade until he's got consistent results. So he followed every single thing in the boot camp perfectly. He followed everything I said perfectly. By the way, this guy, his whole obsession is mindset. Like he has a whole company about being able to have self-discipline. That's like his life outside of trading. That's what his life is. He had only one losing day out of 40 days. 39 winning days. Now it's February. The dude has 10 Apex funded accounts that are at $2,000 each. He has $20,000 of profit. And he started 4 months ago and is for the first time ever. But he's the one guy. Okay, there's a few others, but he's the one guy who just said, all right, I'm going to do exactly what they tell me. I'm not going to change a single thing. And he's crushing it.
Yeah.
What a success story. Brand new. Out of complete non-trader 4 months ago. And now he's got 20,000 in profits in his accounts.
For me, it's even harder because...
Of course. Very hard for me too.
I tell you from
especially if you feel like you're above the law because you're like the teacher. So you're like, oh, I can experiment. I can do some research.
Let's go.
Right.
Since the Carnival in Brazil, that was last week. Carnival in Brazil, here was President's Days on Monday.
Yeah.
So I trade Tuesday until last Friday. Trade only with my students trading live, doing our simple strategy. The day that I make a lot of trades was the day when I trade
by yourself.
Three times.
Ah.
3 trades, only 3 trades.
Right.
And telling with way before the trade, let's everybody place the trade at this place with this stop, and let's get this profit. So I make money on only one stop, only one day with stop, and all those that follow me on the live stream, trading live, sharing my screen. I share my screen. I show when I lose money, when I make money.
Yeah.
And the most guys, they can't be disciplined to do the same.
Even though you're showing it live in real time.
Yeah. And
wow.
I trade 20 account. One trade, my reference, I don't like to say like a goal. You know, goal is it's just like a personal thing. So I don't say goal. My reference is $400 times 20 per account. That's it. That's my day. And I on that Friday, I did that attitude. Then open the trade goes against my position, and grab my hand, put inside the mouse, push the button, boom, just lost $80,000. Let's go to another trade. That will be the last one. Opening another trade, the same thing happened. That day was not a good day to this strategy. Right. To this strategy, not fitting.
Doesn't always work, of course.
Another stop, $16,000 lost. And everybody goes like, wow, continue, go to another. No, that's my.
It probably helps you to have people watching you.
Yeah, it
actually helps your own discipline.
No, I like those days.
Yeah,
because I show to them how to do those hard things. First one, push the button and stop the trade, and second one, accept the day loss.
Yeah,
I lost that day. It's over.
Day's done. Yeah,
it's over. And then this next week, all day green, Monday to Friday. So that's okay. That's how it's supposed to be.
It's cool to see your community and what you deal with, and I feel like we have a lot of similarities with the way we have operated on things and what we've learned.
Yeah.
For instance, I think that having students who know the rules but don't follow them is the most common thing that we see.
Yeah.
And how those who can actually be disciplined and consistent and keep it simple, those are the ones who end up with long-term profits.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I fly all the way from Brazil to Los Angeles to discover that you and I basically trade as the same.
Yeah. It's wild. And our students behave the same.
The same.
Too, right?
Very nice.
It's pretty wild,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't have expected that.